Hi, hello and welcome to HealthCast by Happiest Health. I'm Pallavi. Pain has become an uninvited guest in so many of our lives, isn't it? In fact, 50% of world's population's chronic pain is because of improper posture, that's ergonomics, and lack of stretching. In this episode, we will understand how to tackle this effectively. We have Gayathri Mahalingam, Physiotherapist, who is joining us today and to explain all these things, and she'll also help us do better pain management. Am I right?
Of course.
How is stretching different from yoga?
So they are actually one and the same.
Oh,
Stretches are predominantly done for a set of muscles at a given time, and yoga in general is a complete body thing. Stretches can be just concentrated at one part of the body, it's like say thighs or legs or upper back or shoulder, and just finish it there, but they're not different to each other. It's any day stretching
Oh, okay.
in a much extensive form. Yoga is a much extensive form or a deeper version of stretches.
Anytime before exercise, they do stretching,
They-
right?
yes.
And is that only because of improper exercising leads to so many other issues? So is that because of that?
It does. And before starting any set of exercise, be it a very severe stretching episode or strengthening or athlete activity, it is very, very important for anybody to do a proper warm up and a cool down.
Okay.
Before getting into the activity, at least about 10 minutes of warm up and a cool down is required for the muscle to not have a lot of soreness post the workout, and for the person to have the maximum benefit of whatever workout they have done, to have the full effect in the body.
Okay. And these days there is a lot of pain issues everywhere. Earlier it was only probably with respect to senior citizens or so, but now pain has no age bar. And why do you think all these things are happening, or how do we tackle this?
That's a good question. That now pain is a part of lives, like all
Right.
right? That is one is because though we have a lot of media and knowledge platforms like this to have too many informations from too many sides, we have access to a lot of exercise, lot of right. Still, it's the lifestyle and priorities that people can't, from childhood, from being a school child to an adolescent to a work class to housewives to geriatric population, there's always something that comes up in their lives that they're not able to perform, or they're not able to give it a routine, or unless they're really really motivated to get up of the bed and really do some form of activity. Unless that kind of motivation is there, we hardly see people who are into a regime, who religiously does exercise or stretches or walking. Very, very less. That's because people don't prioritize exercise.
Like you said, it's priority, I understand. But some of them want to do some physical activity, to do something, but then unfortunately there's no time. How do we tackle this? The willingness of being fit or do some basic physical stretch or something like that is there, but no time.
We can manage this very well. Some form of basic stretches, which all of us, I'm sure, would definitely know, that can be performed at the desk while sitting.
Okay.
While at work.
Right.
Be it a desk job, be it a work which will require you standing for a long time, be it a field visit, be it any kind of a job, exercising and stretching can definitely be accommodated.
If you could teach us something.
Sure. When you're sitting, most important thing is ergonomics.
Right.
To have our knees bent at 90 degrees,
Okay.
have the foot flat on the floor,
Okay.
have your elbows and wrists supported.
Okay.
Okay, your arm rest where you have is usually the kind of a chair which is usually ergonomic at all offices, so that can be lifted up at height adjusted. So keep your elbow rested, and where your fingertips are ending, that's where your keyboard must be.
Okay.
And the top of the monitor should be at your eye level. You're neither bending down nor looking up.
Okay.
And your neck is constantly in neutral. It's not flexed or extended. At the desk, at the chair where you're sitting, can be any stretch that you already know. For the
Okay.
hand, for the neck, for the shoulder, whatever you know. I'm sure all of us know some of it. Something to move your leg, just it's as easy as just lifting both the leg up and moving the ankle up and down.
Okay.
Feel the stretch fully. Hold there
Hmm.
until you feel the stretch comfortable. Come back.
Okay.
Do this in the morning, 5 repetitions. You can do in the afternoon. Make me do a little bit of wrist rotation. Extend your arm. Do a little rotation there. Do this flexion extensions so much as you get the stretch. Feel the pull.
Okay.
Then come back. 2 hours later, you can work out on your shoulder. Do something for your like shoulder shrugs, or just take your shoulder
am I
blade
right?
together.
I'm doing this?
Yeah, you are. Just at 90 degree. When you keep your arm a little at 90 degree, you will be working it out much better.
Yeah, I can feel the stretch on my back.
2 hours later, you can work on your neck.
That is
Do some neck stretches. Turning the head to one side and bending it the same side.
Here is the
Feel the pull. Exactly. These are definitely
doable.
doable.
Absolutely
Definitely
correct. Absolutely. And then
However difficult our work is, and if our calls, if our job requires it sitting and we are answering calls, we can always walk around and answer calls, unless the screen, the meeting demands you to be in front of the screen and be visible. You can walk around and talk. Keep your water bottle away. Ensure that you're getting up every 1 hour. And to the question before this, that all of us have so many aches and pains, irrespective of our age. Managing our posture and ergonomics at the work level or at schools, colleges, wherever we're sitting, while writing at the table, while studying. Altering our posture and managing our ergonomics well will sort out the 90% of the issue. And the remaining 10% of the pain, I'm sure all of us can deal with. We can do something to get rid of it, is what I mean. I'm not asking people to deal with pain. To get rid of it, we can definitely do something. It's
So-
only going to be 10%.
now in office we all have good ergonomic chairs. At home, it's a
You
kind
don't
of a
have- yes.
yeah. So any hack there? What can we do?
I think people who are working hybrid should all definitely invest in a good ergonomic chair, which is number one. You cannot be sitting in a dining table or sit on a sofa or sit with a pillow behind against the wall, stretching the leg. Well, all of this can be done for a while. If you're going to work for 8 hours, you can do all this in bits and pieces, like sit in your dining table and work, sit on your bed and work, sit on the floor, sit on wherever you think you should, sit on the terrace. All this can be incorporated, maybe bits and pieces, all put together 1 hour. But the remaining 7 hours at least should be in a proper ergonomic chair.
No alternatives for the comfort. We were talking about ergonomics and its importance, right? So, want to understand what happens if one does not follow the right ergonomics. What are the effects of it?
Musculoskeletal disorders, discrepancies in working, repetitive stress injury, where if someone's continuously typing, they'll kind of end up having something at the wrist, at the shoulder joint, if they're not properly sitting, or if their wrist is not supported, their elbow is not at an angle which is required, or if they're bending their neck too much or looking up too much to reach the screen.
So, these are the problems that might.
Yes.
Since we were talking about neck, this question just came into my mind. We are also extensively into phone, and of course, this is how we use our phones, right? Can't stop using phone.
Yeah, so of course, hold the phone up as much as possible at a 90-degree angle with your elbow supported again. And the best way to use phone is not to use it with one hand. it's always better to use it with both the hands. So the weight is number one, equally distributed. Also, you have access of your two thumbs to access to the keypad. I suggest my patients to send voice notes. Just record and send. Don't type. Is what I say, and that's what I follow and practice. So,
But are there any neglected areas which needs attention?
low back,
Okay.
the lumbar spine,
Mm-hmm.
the knee. Mostly people in sitting in at desk job kind of a thing. I cannot ask somebody to do a proper pelvic bridging, do a cobra pose. All of these are practically impossible. We cannot definitely expect them to, be very religious about their exercise and work out all the muscles in the body while they're at work. These are small stretches which are doable, can be done in sitting, standing, walking. So those are okay, but which is larger group of muscle like the upper back, the lower back, the knee, the glutes, these are usually neglected regions, and that is where most of our weight goes, and those are postural muscles, so those needs attention.
So now we spoke about it. How do I give the attention? I mean, teach some technique.
While you are at the bed itself, just
Okay.
before getting up from the bed,
Okay.
even before getting into brushing, do at least 3-4 exercises, 3-4
On the bed
repetitions
lying,
on
okay.
the bed lying down, and get up. Start your day with exercises, not brushing.
That's a good one.
Whatever is not concentrated, what cannot be done, like you can always come to the office and do your neck stretches and back stretches and the shoulder stretches, but you cannot work on your lower back, you cannot lie down and lift your knee up and all of that at office. So I would suggest that they finish that at the bed itself before getting up. And
Then start. What are the things that you would you recommend to do? One,
is a pelvic bridge pose.
okay.
Next is a cobra pose.
Okay.
Next is a hamstring stretch, which is done lying down supine, taking the leg at 90-degree angle and holding it there for like about 5 to 10 seconds, doing it 10 repetitions, and doing a little bit of shoulders to start with.
And then the brushing.
Then the brushing.
We spoke about the importance and all the other things. I would also want to know who should not do all these things, or is that okay that everybody does this?
It's actually okay for all of us to do some form of exercise. Unless the person is diagnosed with a problem, like say if somebody has had a meniscal tear in the knee, or a ligament tear in the knee, or in the shoulder, or there is a rotator cuff injury in the shoulder, they are not allowed to perform a certain set of stretches or exercises which will aggravate the problem, which will only tear the muscle further or the meniscus further. Only in those conditions where there is a serious problem like that, people are not advised to do and work out only that portion. So if you have a knee problem, you only don't work out the knee, but you can always do your shoulders. You can do your back, which will not load your knee. You can adopt to exercises which will not load your knee and work out on your back, still work out on your shoulder. I won't say don't exercise at all if you have a back issue or you have a shoulder problem, you don't work out on your knees. No, that's not the case.
We'll discuss certain situations. You please help us how to make it better with respect to stretching or small exercises.
Sure.
Corrections that you said. One is, okay, I think we covered the office ergonomics. In that, neck we covered, back we covered, eye.
That one arm distance of the screen where your fingertips end is the keyboard. So if your screen is at that distance, your eye is pretty much protected. But to have some exercise for the eye, you can always ensure that you're tightly closing and tightly immediately opening.
Okay.
That's number one. And next is rolling the eye fully to the left, fully to the right, fully up, fully down without moving your neck. Only your eye should move. So that is for the intrinsic muscles of the eyes, all the ocular muscles. And this helps in coordination. It will help in people with vertigo.
We spend a lot of time traveling. Either the person is sitting or driving. How do I utilize this time?
we can work a lot of muscles in this position.
If you could, please.
While if the person is not driving and sitting in the
okay.
cab and coming,
Huh.
in that scenario, the person can definitely work out on the shoulder, move his arm, his upper back, get the shoulder blades together, get that stretching, hold it there for some time, come back. Do the knees, do the ankle, get a good calf stretch. All of that. They can do the shoulders, keeping the arm at 90 degree, taking it right back as much as possible. Hold it, come back.
Okay.
You do your triceps. These are all pretty much known to people. They all can manage this. That's number 3.
Okay.
Then they can get the arm towards the other side. All of this can be done in sitting position while they are
Makes
having,
sense.
right? All of this to get the pull to go to the lats. Yes. Right. Then they can work on the leg, ankle toe movements, and then getting the knees to get towards the chest as much as possible. All of this.
Now the person,
If the person is riding,
Yeah.
they can at signals. While they are riding, they have to try and get up from the scooter. Stand up. That's the best thing. If they have to.
That's a two-wheeler, huh?
If that's a two-wheeler. If they're sitting and driving a car, then they cannot get up and get standing and all of that. They can just do the hand exercises. They will not be even able to move their leg too much because of the mobility, and one leg to be on the brake and accelerator and so on. So we can't really ask them to do much.
Homemakers do not prioritize their own health. Any tips or suggestions for them?
They have to consider exercising. They have to get it into a part of regime that religiously they are into some form of activity, because they usually think they're already working out too much.
Yeah.
They're already doing so much work, and that is exercise,
Right.
which is wrong. That is not exercise. Proper strengthening and stretching is required. Most of us stand with both the legs on the floor in the kitchen, end up a long hours standing and chopping vegetables, doing the cooking, finishing the chores. I suggest that they have a small footstool. Keep one leg on the footstool, one leg on the floor, and keep alternating between the two.
Oh, okay.
That way, it will not put a lot of pressure on the hip and on the knee. And I would suggest that when it is going to take a long time, they'll more or less be able to understand how long are they going to chop or going to do. Whatever is possible in sitting position, like say they can sit and chop their vegetables. They can incorporate such things where they are alternating between standing, sitting and walking. Because kitchen is a functional movement. It is high intensity functional movements, because you need to be very quick, and a lot of muscles, a lot of coordination is required in the kitchen. And people don't pay a lot of attention there.
Now I will ask you certain questions that are commonly searched questions on the Google, right?
Yeah.
So
Should I just say yes or no?
you can give your perspective and what do you think is the right, if it is right, wrong, and your reason as to why. The commonly Googled questions: can I replace exercise with stretching?
No. Because only stretching the muscle, maybe you just cover head to toe every day, which is not enough. Proper strengthening is required. Proper training is required. Proper strength and conditioning, toning, all of this is necessary. Only stretching the muscle and that asking to be compensating for the other exercises doesn't serve. Stretch, workout, stretch.
Oh, okay. Stretch, workout, stretch. Right. Can stretching help with cramps?
Yes, it does. It definitely does.
If I'm dieting and stretching, I will lose weight faster.
No. You have to do proper exercising. Dieting helps, but only stretches, again, like I said, will not help. You have to do a proper strength and conditioning program. Go to an expert, have the details collected, and follow the instructions.
Stretching is only for athletes.
No, definitely not. It's for all of us.
I can fix any pain with ergonomics correction.
Pretty much, yes. If ergonomics is taken care, then like I said, 90% of the problem is taken care.
The more you stretch, the better it is, because stretching tones the body.
Yes, stretching, the more you do, the better it is for all age groups and for all gender.
Does this also tone the body? Does that help in toning the body?
Tone the body, yes.
Before we wrap this up, I want to hear from you the top three reasons why should people do stretching? Why should they consider this?
Number one is to keep muscle and the joint flexible. To have that capacity and energy to face or to do the other chores or the other demands that our lives place on us. It's not just work, or for a housewife it's not just the kitchen chores. It's a combination. So for you to have that energy to an extended period of time, it is important that we all have our muscles in position, lengthened, strong, and supple.
It was nice talking to you,
Same
Gayatri,
here.
and thank you so much for sharing in a lot of information. So
Same here.
I'm
My
sure.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.